This one is actually a big deal, especially if you follow flagship phones from China, because something interesting is clearly happening behind the scenes. Right now, everyone thinks Qualcomm is the king of flagship chips. Snapdragon this, Snapdragon that. But slowly, things are changing, and the next big change might come from MediaTek and the Dimensity 9600. So let me explain this in a very simple way. MediaTek has not officially announced the Dimensity 9600 yet, but leaks and insiders are already talking a lot about it, and the main reason is Qualcomm's pricing. Qualcomm is getting very expensive. Their upcoming chips, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 and especially the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro, are said to be extremely costly, like crazy expensive. And because of that, many phone brands are now thinking twice. Brands like Oppo and Vivo, especially in China, don't want their phones to become too expensive. They still want flagship performance, but without killing the price. And this is where Dimensity 9600 comes in. According to a very trusted Chinese tipster, digital chat station, Oppo and Vivo are seriously thinking about using the Dimensity 9600 in their top-end Pro Max phones, instead of Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro. That's huge, because Pro Max phones are usually the best of the best. Best camera, best performance, best everything. And if brands are choosing MediaTek for those phones, that means MediaTek has really stepped up. Now let's talk about why they might do this. First, pricing. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro is not just powerful, it is also very expensive. Qualcomm is charging a lot because this chip comes with some special features, things like a faster GPU, LPDDR6 RAM support, and UFS 5.0 storage. All of that sounds amazing, yes, but all of that also increases phone cost. And at the end of the day, the brand has to pass that cost to you, the buyer. Digital Chat Station basically says, yes, the chip is powerful, but it's more like a camera-focused luxury chip, not something every flagship needs. So instead of paying that high price, Oppo and Vivo might go with the Dimensity 9600, which gives strong performance, but at a more reasonable cost. Now, let's talk about the Dimensity 9600 itself. This chip is expected to be made using TSMC's N2P process. Don't worry about the technical name, just remember this one thing. N2P is a slightly improved version of N2, and this improvement gives about 5% better performance compared to the normal N2 process. Why does this matter? Because Apple is also using the N2 process for its upcoming A20 and A20 Pro chips. So MediaTek is actually using a slightly better version of the same tech Apple is using. That's impressive. Now, performance is not just about speed, it's also about efficiency, meaning how much power the chip uses. And this is where MediaTek still has a challenge. The current Dimensity 9500 chip has no efficiency cores. That means it uses more power, especially during normal tasks. This has caused higher battery drain. Apple, on the other hand, is very smart with efficiency. Their A19 chips give around 29% more performance without using extra power compared to A18. That's crazy good. So, for Dimensity 9600 to really compete, MediaTek needs to seriously improve efficiency this time. Now, let's talk about RAM, because this is another interesting point. The Dimensity 9600 is expected to support LPDDR6 RAM. This is faster than LPDDR5. For comparison, the iPhone 18 Pro models are expected to still use LPDDR5 with 12 GB. So, on paper, the Dimensity 9600 could have better memory speed. But here's the twist. Only the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro will also support LPDDR6. The normal Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 will likely stick to LPDDR5. So basically, if a brand wants LPDDR6, they have two choices. Either pay a lot for Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro, or go with Dimensity 9600 at a lower cost. And you can already guess what many brands will choose. This is why people are saying the Dimensity 9600 might become very popular in Chinese flagship phones, not because it's the absolute best in every single area, but because it offers a better balance, strong performance, modern tech, better pricing. And honestly, for most users, that balance matters more than tiny benchmark numbers. Now, this doesn't mean Qualcomm is losing, not at all. Snapdragon chips are still amazing, especially for camera processing and GPU performance. But it does mean MediaTek is no longer the second option. It's becoming a first choice for many brands. And if Oppo and Vivo really put Dimensity 9600 in their Pro Max phones, that sends a very strong message to the whole industry. It tells us that MediaTek is now trusted at the highest level. So, going forward, don't be surprised if you see more flagship phones with Dimensity chips instead of Snapdragon, especially in China. Competition is heating up, and for us, as users, that's a good thing, because more competition usually means better phones at better prices. This Dimensity 9600 story is just starting, and once MediaTek officially announces it, things are going to get even more interesting.